Let me tell you this. I referenced the old Griffith show Saturday at the motorcycle event. In fact, a woman said to me, now, this is how our former colleague, Dave Aiken, got me in trouble on Saturday. This lady came up. Now, she's a singer. She was singing at the event. She was a part of the band. And she came up, and she goes, do you know Dave Aiken? And I said, I do. And
he's not around here right anymore. I don't know what he's done to you, but don't hold it against me.
She said, 3 years ago, I was singing at this event, and Dave Aiken said on the microphone, boy, you sure have got a high roof to your mouth. That's a reference to the old Griffith show.
Yeah, I recognize it. I'm not sure everybody does.
60 years ago on the Andy Griffith Show, Jim Nabors, as Gomer, sang this song.
Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia.
And Andy Griffith went up to him and said, Gomer, you sure got a high roof to your mouth. So every time.
It was a compliment.
It was like, yeah, it's a compliment. It's like, boy, you can really sing, like, hit the high notes. I mean, here, listen to it.
Santa Lucia.
And Gomer said, oh, I was just caterwauling. But Andy said, oh, you've sure got a high roof to your mouth. So Dave would use that term, especially around me. We'd play Andy all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. And if somebody would sing, he'd go, well, I got a high roof to their mouth. Well, apparently at this motorcycle event a few years ago, this same woman was singing. And Dave said, honey, you sure got a high roof to your mouth.
How did she take that?
Well, she came to me Saturday, 3 years later.
With a muscular boyfriend?
Yes.
Where is he?
Yes. And I said, he's not
Where's
here.
Aiken?
I said, he's not here. He's not with us.
Dave's not here.
I said, Dave's not here. And she said, Dave said I had a high roof to my mouth. And I said, he did. And she goes, what does that mean? Is that sexual? And the boyfriend's like, God darn right it's sexual. I know exactly. And
I'm supposed to beat him with a pool cue. Which one?
Where is he?
Somebody under the radio tent.
Dave's not here, man.
Our poor promotions man, Dawson, had to duck under the table.
Not me.
Guy with the pool cue.
Not me.
I said, no. I said, that's a compliment from the old Griffith show. And she goes, I know damn well that's not.
Well,
he said you sing like Gomer Pyle. What?
That's even worse.
Even worse.
That's even
Never
worse.
tell a professional that.
Oh man, apparently that really sent her. She goes, for 3 years I've been asking people, what does it mean if I got a high roof to my mouth? She thought it was sexual in me.
Of course you
know
did.
what that, you know that.
all this makes so much sense now.
Yeah, oh yeah? You have a
Well, leading up all week long, I get our social media notifications.
Of course.
I kept getting notifications that somebody had tagged us, the show, in a post.
Yeah.
And it was this woman who kept being like, I can't wait till Saturday. I'm going to find out exactly what high roof mouth means. And I'm
Are
like,
you kidding?
and I kept seeing these tags, and I'm like, well, that's weird.
You should have warned me.
But she said, and she kept mentioning, she's like, I'm going to see Chris Kelly Saturday. I'm going to get some answers. And I'm like,
You didn't want to mention. She came like a beeline. They had a break. She sang very well, and then she made her way and she started pointing at me. And she's like, "I'm coming after you." And I was looking around like, "What? What was Aiken?"
And all these people were like liking it, like, get him. And I'm like, well, that seems odd, but I didn't.
You didn't want to say.
I didn't think that it was gonna.
Man, she was all over me. I mean, she was all over me on that one. I'll tell you that.
That's funny because Biggie mentioned social media because Biggie and I were across town. We were at a different event when you were at the motorcycle event, Kelly. And a woman came up, really nice lady. I think she may have been a client or she had rented some, like her tent. Her merchandise tent was 2 or 3 down from ours.
Right.
And she came over and said, I just want to tag you guys. What's your social media handles? And I went, I don't know. So I turned. Luckily, BB Shea was there. And I said, BB Shea, what are the social media handles? And he goes, I don't know. We had a ace in the hole. Biggie was underneath the tent. And because Biggie handles social media. And I said, Biggie, what are our social media handles? And Biggie said proudly, I don't know.
I don't know. You can hashtag something. I don't know.
That's really.
I've never. And she said, "Y'all should all deserve to be fired." And I said, "I know."
We're really cutting edge.
I mean, you talk about how dumb and out of touch.
My God, I don't know. I mean,
everybody else there from all the other stations.
Oh yeah, of course.
Were live streaming.
Oh yes, of course.
You know, and TikToking and hashtagging.
That I can't tell you how many times people have said to me personally, "What's your Instagram handle?" I don't know. I have no idea what that is. I've got to get more in touch. I've got to get on social media.
Oh, here we
I've got
go.
to start doing this.
Ring the bell.
I have got to start doing
It's the once-a-year proclamation.
I got to get out there.
It's a little late this year.
I've got to get out there and do this. There was a radio station. This was unfortunate as well. A hot air balloon went wrong at a show, and the hot air balloon, and this happened in Albuquerque. I guess they have a huge festival.
Yeah, that's like ground zero
The
for
biggest,
the
yeah.
best festival.
Yeah, second time in 20 years, a balloon has hit the same thing, a radio tower, station KKOB-AM, their news talk, and their tower was destroyed when a hot air balloon hit it. It was like in the movie Airplane, the plane itself actually hits a radio tower.
WZAZ in Chicago, where disco lives forever.
That's a reenactment of what it would be like when their tower
They
got
killed
hit.
disco.
Yeah, and this one got killed, and they said it's going to be weeks before we get our tower back up.
That's brutal.
It is. I mean, when your tower's gone,
You're stuck.
especially if you don't know your social media handles. I mean, what are you going to do?
Can we listen online?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We really have no idea what we're doing. That's interesting that none of, even Biggie and I would have thought BB Shea for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I
Yeah.
don't know. Of
No.
course. No, we have never.
Yeah, she's like, what do I tag? And I'm like, I don't know.
Man. There's no way.
I was like, hashtag 2GNC.
Look what we're doing here. We're referencing the old Griffith show from 60 years ago.
That we can handle.
That we got. Woman's mad at me thinking it's a sexual connotation, which it is not. And then we don't know our social media handle.
We're in the wrong century, you could argue.
I guess so. And Chris Demm gets another. Now, good news for Chris Demm. Another voicemail.
True. I may be. I may not have to worry about social media for the rest of my life.
What was this? The second time.
Maybe this year.
Yeah, probably within the last 6 months. In fact, I think fairly recent. You got us a voicemail, and this is the second one that he got over the weekend.
This is a secure phone call from the Publishers Clearinghouse. The team of Publishers Clearinghouse is pleased to officially announce you as the first place winner in our sweepstakes promotions. The total amount to be claimed for your winnings is $8,500,000, with an additional $5,000 weekly for life, and a brand new 2024 Mercedes-Benz in our monthly grand prize giveaway. Congratulations. For clarity and assurance, please keep your prize information strictly confidential until you speak with a claim agent at the PCH. Thank you.
How about this? That's the second time.
They threw in a Mercedes-Benz. Last time it was just cash.
Yeah, this time you've got $8 million and a 2024 Mercedes and like $5,000 a month to go on top of that. That's incredible.
They've stepped up the little sound effects, too, during the phone call.
Those sound effects would make me call. There's a number to call. We called it last time and nobody answered. It just rang and rang and rang. But we feel like it might be a scam. And
our gut tells us scam.
last time we looked it up, I would be susceptible to that. I'm as susceptible to that as I am 3-card Monty, which they would get me on. That one, they would probably get me.
They're probably starting to look at age-based. All right, give him a call.
It's time.
He's still too with it.
It's
Up the ante.
it's time now. Yep.
Hey, just keep adding until you finally call.
Yep. Move it up. That's exactly right. So now this is the event yesterday that took place at my home. I mentioned it earlier. We had an event. Now, you know, my wife is deadly afraid of snakes. She cannot stand them. And she has a real phobia of that. Remember a few years ago, we were walking in the woods and we saw a very small snake, and she turned and ran back to the house, and we moved. We had to sell the house.
She vomited and then called a realtor.
Correct. Those are the two moves she made. So yesterday, our water feature was not working all of a sudden. This is very unfortunate. We have an outdoor water feature.
Is it a babbling brook? Is it a descending? I can't recall
It's a babbling
the
brook.
details.
It's a babbling brook.
Okay.
And what happens is it babbles down 3 levels. And as soon as I moved in, my wife's uncle, who's in landscaping, said, "That's going to be a giant pain in the ass." And he's been absolutely 100% right in that, because every 3 or 4 months it stops working. You don't know why.
Yeah.
Do you have a water feature guy?
Yes. And that's also been challenging, because they'll come out and then, of course, they charge, and they're only there for a few minutes, and oftentimes after they leave, something else goes wrong, and I have to call them back. You know, it's been difficult. I'll say that. So yesterday.
Yes, it's a first world problem.
Okay, right. So it completely stopped working. Now, normally when this happens, there's a leak somewhere and you can hear the motor running, but there's no water babbling. Well, this time it was dead silence, and there was no leak because it was full. So I said, well, there's something wrong with the motor. No issues except that maybe it's a fuse blown. You know, that's what I thought. Well, our string lights are on the same fuse. Okay?
Mm.
So my wife said, let me try the string lights.
Hello?
Alexa, turn on string lights.
Siri. Well, they didn't turn on either. And so I said, well, what we've done here is blown fuse. So we're going to need to go down.
Now you're thinking in your head,
all right,
where is the fuse box? What is a fuse
where
box?
is the fuse box and what is
Where's
it?
the breakers?
So I thought, probably in the basement. All right, very likely in the basement. And I'll go down there and take a look at some things. So I go down with a flashlight and my reading glasses. And she says, I'll come down with you and assist you if you. I'll keep messing with the string lights while you do that. I said, okay. So we go down to our unfinished basement. It's cluttered beyond belief.
Oh, yeah.
So she goes, you've got to keep your temper in check because she knows how I take. I hate clutter.
That's your phobia.
That's my phobia.
And clearly she's been putting more down there than you've realized.
Of course. I had to step over 19 things.
Yeah.
It's like the last scene in Indiana Jones.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Well, the fuse box is right next to some double doors that open to bring in like large furniture, I guess, through the basement. You know, okay, there's big, okay, right.
Yeah.
We call them elephant doors at the Coliseum.
Okay, we got some elephant doors down there. Full disclosure. Well, I messed with it a little bit, and I said,
Anything?
right. She goes, well, open those doors.
It flickered.
Okay. She's standing beside me. She goes, open those doors so I can see the string lights. They're right outside. I open the door, and she goes, Lizard just crawled in the house. I said, all right. I wasn't concerned. She moved a little like folding table to see into the corner where the lizard was, and she goes, oh my God, it's a snake. It's a snake. Well,
it was never a lizard.
Not a lizard. She projectile vomited. She screamed. She screamed bloody murder and took off up the stairs. She knocked everything out of the way. All our Christmas decorations went flying. And she went up the stairs. And I said, you've got to help me. And she goes, are you out of your mind? I'm not helping you. And
The snake's like, I'll see myself out.
Right, we're screaming back and forth. The snake was probably 3 feet long and skinny. Like
Yeah, a little black snake, probably.
Exactly what it was. I'd say the diameter of maybe a thick pencil or something, or. And so I said, can you give me a shovel at least? She goes, I'm not giving you a damn thing. Well, she took a shovel from the garage and threw it down the stairs. I heard it go boom, 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 all the way down the stairs. Well, I went to get the shovel. When I went back, I couldn't find the snake. So I said, she goes, did you kill it? I said, I can't find it. Oh, my God.
Oh, she's never going to
Extreme
sleep.
of profanities?
Extreme of profanities. And so I had to look for the snake now for a little while.
Of course.
I pulled the table back, and there it was. And it was like,
Oh, it was in position now.
It was in position to strike. And I was like, oh, Jesus God. Oh, my God. But it was a black snake, so I was trying to usher it out the elephant doors. I didn't want to get. I got my get stick, got my get shovel, and I was trying to get. And she goes, she's like, take care of it. You're a man. You're supposed to be a man. I said, I need some help. So I got it out in the open, and I was trying to swish it out the elephant doors because I didn't want to kill it, but it kept.
Yeah, but it's like trying to get a drunk to leave a bar.
Exactly. And
one more.
And I thought I was going to lose it, and then we're really in trouble. And I had to chop its head off. I had to chop its head off. Or about that time, my daughter came downstairs.
Oh, no.
To help me, and she sees it and starts bawling immediately. She's crying. And I said to my wife, I've killed it. And she's like, I'm on the phone with the realtor. We're leaving this godforsaken place. So I did kill it. I flung it into the wood, and I really did hate to kill it. I mean, it was awful to do. And my daughter said that was awful to see. Of course it was.
Yeah, because, of course, they tell you those are the ones that eat
and it's true.
the
It's true.
things.
But it crossed the perimeter line.
It did.
It did.
And she's convinced now we have a family of snakes living in the basement. And I said, that's not true. You saw it crawl in. She goes, I don't know exactly what I saw. So we're back and forth yelling at each other. And I said, I think you're overreacting.
Which is what every man says.
Oh, my God. Oh, my. That is the worst thing you can say. And she told me I didn't know what a phobia was. I said, I know what a phobia is. She goes, you don't have a true phobia of anything. And
I do of you. What'd you say? Nothing.
Traumatic experience. And our string lights are still down. And
Yeah,
so
you
is
didn't
our
fix the issue.
so is
You
our
still
water
have to
filter.
call.
I thought you were going to say the snake had clogged up the drain intake.
Oh, my God. No.
That's where the rest of the family is.
Crawled. Oh,
Here's your problem right here. That guy just pulls out 8 snakes on one hand. Yeah, look at him.
all wriggling.